Do you have any communication strategies or advice for successfully coordinating with the rest of the design team? I've never been on the consultant side. I've always been the architect with either in-house engineers or consulting engineers. So I guess I'm more the gatherer. So how is it on your end?
Um, I think we just have to walk the line of being confident in what we do. That we can accommodate, but we have to be firm on why or why not something may work, right? Like there are hard rules that we have to follow. If we miss something like that, you could turn a network on and half the building may be outside of those distance limitations, or that would be a catastrophic fail. Like I can't imagine how expensive it would be to find an error like that after the place was built. So we have hard, fast rules that we have to follow. If there was a grounding issue in the building, that would be terrible. And I know that's a coordination with electrical. And so I think there's this, at BrightTree, we try to be as responsive as possible. I know everybody in the last year or so has been so busy. And so, us included. And so while that fluctuates, it's kind of our, motto. And so that we want to be there for the architect, because, or else why would they hire us? So we want to be flexible, we want to be responsive, but we have a responsibility to, stand up for our disciplines. So communication strategies really are, I guess just simple and honest. It's and really that gets the most done in the quickest time.
Yeah, because I think my emails do get shorter and shorter. I just go, hey, are we doing this? Okay, go. And I always try to tell at least younger architects when they're working with consultants to reach out to consultants immediately with changes.
Right.
Don't write a paragraph. If you're writing a paragraph, pick up the phone. I know there's a lot of the times where I would just, because I got confused on some of the stuff you guys would be doing, it'd so much easier for me to hey, I'm setting up a meeting. Walk me through it so I can try to understand and make sure I understand the process on how it goes together. So
that's a great rule of thumb as far as the phone call, because I am always a little bit self-conscious about emailing back, because I know how everybody's inboxes are, and I hate to just load on our architect with thanks and this. It's well, that could have been in the first email, and that so succinct we try to be. And I know some of our architectural clients have tried to use Teams with us and chat, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. We use Slack in-house, and for us it makes a lot of sense because we have our project channels and we can talk about, you can be on everything or you don't have to be, and it's and you can keep everything organized. To me, that makes a ton of sense. I'm a little wary about kind of opening that up to all these different project teams. There's, oh my goodness, I don't know if that's more manageable than a bunch of emails. So I don't know. I try to listen to presentations and read books about how other people are doing this. So, I know people are experimenting, so I'm always curious too.
Yeah, because it's always a lot. Because either you're just sitting in meetings all day, trying to catch up, coordinate, move on to the next thing, or your inbox is getting full, or you're in so many Teams or Slack messages that you're just muting all of them.
Right.
And okay, I can't keep up with this. There's so many different ways. But yeah, there's always going to be communication challenges because there's just so much in the AEC industry and what everybody has to coordinate and who to talk to. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I know you mentioned an organization earlier, but has there been an organization that's left the biggest impact on your career?
The art industry organization is, for AV is Avixa, AVIXA. I think they do a great job for AV. For telecom, it's Bixie, and they're a pretty powerful group as well. And they have done a good job of getting their standards integrated into like the IEEE standards, and so those are real two great ones. I'd say personally, every company I worked for has really been a good growth opportunity for me. So I kind of got lucky that way. The AP, BrightTree, some other consultants that I worked for. So I got lucky that way. I would say to be in our world in technology consulting, personal relationships are probably even more important. Both meeting people in our industry, but people in the AEC at large community have made a ton of impact for me. And I know that's true with some of my peers and colleagues at other companies, that really they are where they are because they've just made some great friends and they travel now with some of their architect friends. And I keep calling everybody an architect, but whatever their role is. But so yeah, I think that's probably what I'd say to that is we have a good industry with good support. There's also another group called NSCA, which is the systems contractor, and they're kind of the trade organization for the AV integration companies. But they do things like go out and monitor legislation that would have a negative aspect on our industry too. So I'd say if anybody interested in getting involved in AV or telecom or security, take a look at them as well. They have a lot of opportunities for training and networking, things like that.
Yeah. And just connections in general. Like the people I've met, even since starting mentorDINO, is just amazing. And it's been a little over a year, and I had no clue I'd be podcasting right now if you asked me a year ago. And talking to people all across the country, you never know where connections and meeting people are going to take you. You never know when you work with somebody when you're going to work with them again, or what other connections that brings. It makes it a very fun industry.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I always like wrapping up my podcast with this final question, and it's, what advice do you have for young professionals just starting their career?
I would say if you are starting your career and you're interested in the technology field, don't be afraid to take the opportunity, even if you feel like it's at a entry level. I've met so many people that if you have the drive to get somewhere, that the AV industry, I think, is still one of those industries that you can start from nothing. And like so many industries now, people are coming out with grad school degrees and can't find work, and yet I still see people in our industry starting with a 2 years associates or even less, and making their way to like a very, very successful. So I'd say don't be afraid to jump in, and if you have the hard work ethic, that somebody will notice you.
Yeah, especially the amount of people that come from more the trades or kind of the facility side. I think that makes your part of our industry very unique, because not a lot of people are coming in from the experience side and then going up. At least for architects and more of the big E engineers, it's always that degree, and then you hope you come in at a good economy and can grab a job and go. So check out the full discussion from this bite of advice here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on more mentorDINO content.